Okay, now let's start to learn CSS. So before starting CSS, I just prepared a slideshow to present all about CSS. So we just start what we learn in this CSS tutorials. In this CSS tutorial, we cover both the versions of CSS such as CSS1, CSS2 and as well as CSS3. Actually, we are starting from its basics to advanced concepts and deliver a complete understanding of CSS. Okay, let's start to learn CSS. So what is CSS? CSS, a cascading style sheet, fondly referred to as CSS. So it is simple designing language and you can use to simplify the process of making web pages well dressed with the help of CSS. You can also handle the look of web page with the help of CSS, and CSS is used to control the styles of a web document. Now let's get started to learn the history. I just make a short look on history such as CSS was invented by Hakan Wimley on October 10, 1994. At the beginnings, the cascading style sheet level 1 CSS1 came out of W3C as a recommendation in December 1996. This version described the CSS language as well as a simple visual formatting model for all the HTML tags. And in second step, in CSS2 became a W3C recommendation in May 1998 and built on CSS1. And in this variants, CSS adds supports for media specific style sheets such as printing and oral devices, downloadable forms, element, positioning and tables, etc. So this is the latest versions of CSS. The next, in third stage, CSS3 became a W3C recommendation in June 1999 and built on older versions CSS. Actually, it has divided into documentations is called modules, and here each modules having next extensions features defined in CSS2. So this is all about the history of CSS. Now let's move to what you can do with CSS. You can control the color of text, styles of fonts, the spacing between paragraphs and how columns are sized and laid out, what background image or colors are you used or want to using, layout design, variation in display for different devices and screen sizes, and many more. So all this you can done with CSS. Now let's move to advantages of CSS. The CSS actually save your time. You can write CSS once and then reuse same sheets in multiple HTML pages. So you can define a style sheet for each HTML element and apply it to the same web pages as you want. So it can save your time. The next best advantage of CSS is page loads faster. If you are using CSS, you do not need to write HTML tags attribute every time. Just write once CSS rules of the tags and apply it to all the occurrence of the tags. So less codes mean faster download time. It's pretty good. Next, it is easy to maintenance. How it is easy? Let's say is to make a global change. Simple change the style and all elements in all the web pages will be updated automatically. So it is too easy to maintain. The next one is superior styles to HTML. Actually, CSS has much wider array of attributes than HTML. So you can give a far better look to your web page in comparison to HTML attributes. You can use HTML as a multiple device compatibility. The style sheet allows content to be optimized for more than one type of devices. By using the same HTML document, different versions of a website can be presented for handheld devices such as PDAs and cell phones, or for printing materials or printing machines, etc. The next most advantage of CSS is global web standards. You know, Now HTML attributes are being deprecated and it is being recommended to use CSS. So it's good idea to start using CSS in all the HTML pages to make them compatible to the future browsers. The next best advantage of CSS is offline browsing. You can use CSS to store web application locally within the help of offline caches. Using of this, we can view offline websites. The caches also ensure faster loadings and better overall performance of the website. And the last advantage that I want to discuss with you is the platform independence. Actually, the script offers consistent platform independence and can support latest browsers as well. So, this is all about CSS advantages. So this is all about the basic of CSS, and we will start practically in our next lessons how actually the CSS work with HTML. Thanks for watching.